pinnacle of the adrenaline-filled sport of drag racing, there lies a group of highly competitive individuals speeding down the strip at over 200 miles per hour with a 4,500 horsepower nitro-breathing beast in front of them, all while paying tribute to what some call the best years of the sport.
Howell smoking off the line, and Shoemaker at the top end pulls away to a comfortable win, 7.07 seconds, elapsed time better than 200.
This is the Nitro Nostalgia Funny Car Series with the Riderz Racing team of Donovan, Dylan, and Jason Bussey.
Dylan Bussey, racing the Unleashed car, Dadswell car. The first initial launch kind of just feels like I don't know if it's just a shock that it kind of blurs, but then, yeah, you see like everything gets a little bit blurry and you start to realize that the speed that you're doing, and that's what's scaring me now, is the mental game of not lifting.
There's nothing in the world that accelerates as much as a top fuel car.
To really understand this sport, let's go back to where it all started in the 1950s. When World War II vets returned home with an insatiable hunger for speed and innovation. With speed came superchargers in the form of 671 blowers strapped atop the biggest cubic inch big blocks that Dodge, Chevy, and Ford could produce. These monstrous dragster engines were then shoehorned into full-bodied cars with huge rear tires, and announcers began referring to them as funny cars.
These are the funny cars. In effect, they are short version AA fuel dragsters, plastic bodies, and Dodge Prudhomme is everywhere today.
Fueled by nitromethane, the cars continued to grow in popularity and eventually broke the 200-mile-per-hour barrier in 1967. To pay tribute to what some call the greatest years in drag racing, the Riderz Racing crew choose to compete in the Nostalgia Nitro Funny Car Series, being separated by the fastest drag racers in the world only through supercharger and fuel pump size, and by running a single magneto. Join the Riderz Racing crew in celebrating the past, present, and future of drag racing.
All right, Dylan Bussey, started racing Nitro Nostalgia Funny Car, Unleashed. Yeah, for me to get a license on this is quite a procedure. So I have to do 2 launches, I have to do 2 half tracks on either side. It can't just run one lane. And then I also have to do 2 full passes at 200 miles per hour, both lanes. Have to be above 200 miles per hour. And then I need 3 other qualified licensed drivers to sign off and say that I'm safe enough to put next to someone else, that I'm not going to be a risk to anyone else. There's quite a bit of motions you actually go through just to get the car ready to actually launch. The gun's loaded, you're in the barrel, you're on the ground, so clutch, brake fully in. You start it up, you make sure you have your throttle stopper on there. But once the body closes, you're in control. Can't really describe how that feels when you first launch. It's just immediate shock. So I'm in the middle of my licensing. I've done 3 passes now, not quite half track, but next one, hopefully I'm gonna get to half track.
It'll be exciting to see you hit the chutes at 200 mile an hour and to see how much that snaps you forward.
Yeah.
His last licensing pass, he stayed in the throttle about 2.5 seconds, so not quite half track, a little bit short of half track. But the sheer acceleration on that, to put it into perspective, is him coasting the rest of the way at 1,000 feet. He still does it in like 8.2 seconds or 8 seconds. Like the fastest street cars in Canada run that in a quarter mile time. So it's pretty unreal that he can go way faster than that and do it in 200 feet and coast for the rest. So. My goal in life, it's a bucket list for me, and pretty proud to be able to see my sons who watched me race when they were tiny kids. They lived at the racetrack with us, to step into a race car and in a Nitro car, and see them calmly succeed in doing this is a pretty proud moment for me. And I can't wait till they are fully licensed and I get to line up beside them eventually. It's going to be a pretty heartfelt moment, I guess, when I get down to the end of the track. The funny cars are always probably the hardest car to drive. It's pretty unique. Not many people are very comfortable in them. If you're claustrophobic at all, it's pretty tight quarters. There's a lot going on. It's a pretty short wheelbase. Cars moving around a lot. It gets pretty violent in there. So I'm pretty happy being able to do that, and I'm pretty happy to share that with the kids and let them experience that. So it's been a huge step. It's a pretty amazing team. So everyone's really proud when we get to go Nitro funny car racing, or we go snowmobile racing, or we're dirt oval racing, or mountain bike racing, and you know, really any time of handlebar sport or anything with motorsports, Riderz is probably a big sponsor and greatly involved in it and with passion.